Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica, and today we have a second part of me making the whole Coppedale High School area complex where we have a school and where we have the auditorium. And in here today we are building an auditorium because we have a school already, and I decided that now must be the perfect time for me to make a second building where maybe in my Legacy Challenge, Genevieve will be able to have her prom this weekend because I think that next episode she will be able to go to the prom. I think that she's gonna be sitting there because nobody invited her to prom, and she literally was at school only 3 times, I think. But why don't we still go to prom? We still can have some fun out there. And back to this build. As this build is a part of a school complex, so as I said, we have a Hoppydale High School in the same neighborhood as this auditorium is going to be. I decided to go for the same vibe for this auditorium, and I would probably tell you that not for the same vibe, but I decided to go like completely. I'm literally copying the style of the school and putting that into this auditorium so that it all perfectly matches, so that it all looks like perfectly cohesive and as it all looks like a complete complex, as if it was built in the same time. And first of all, I'm going for like generic auditorium because I thought that it's gonna be maybe wise for me if I figure out the whole exterior first. And then I just copy that to all four types of this law that is possible for here, which are the formal dance, high school graduation, also career day, and generic auditorium as it's right now, so that I do not have to make the same exterior several times. And it's kind of realistic because I don't think that the school administration would literally bulldoze the auditorium and rebuild it every single time for every single event, which happen like every week. Like, why would I bulldoze the whole auditorium to start a career day in here so that I would build here another building? So I decided to go for a slight realism in here. That is why, as I have said, I am trying to make like main parts of the building first thing so that later I will be able just to copy them on all other ones. That is why we will have the same floorings in every single type of this building. That is why we will have the same wall colors everywhere, wall tiles. That is why we'll have the same door, the same columns, but all that's gonna differ is the decor and lighting sometimes, because yeah, I decided to step aside from some realism when I was doing some lighting, because when you're doing the prom you need some fun lighting, because just usual tiny this dot wall light that we have, that I use all the time because it's the smallest one, it looks cute, it won't go for the prom night, because for the prom night I think that dance night for me is you need some dimmed light so that it's not so bright, and so that it's maybe multicolored so that it looks a little bit more fun. That is why we have a lot of complex lighting in the prom area of the build than we have in every single one of them. And as for the exterior, I think that for now you might have seen that at first I was going for like a higher yellow part of the building and a shorter white side of the building. But then I decided to make both parts of the building only 1 story high, and that is because I figured that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to decorate if the building is going to be 2 stories high, and I do not need the auditorium to be very big, because why would I want it to be a very big? I know that for the stage sake the big building will look cute, but that's it. And that is why actually I wanted to place the stage in a taller area of the building. But then I decided that stage lighting is going to be a little bit more complex, and I don't want to make this whole building tall wall height, because I hate tall wall height in The Sims, because it looks silly, especially in the small spaces like toilets, and that is why I'm not using that at all, literally at all. I think that I was using tall wall height maybe once in the whole time of me playing The Sims, and I don't like using that. Medium wall height for me is a struggle. I'm not talking about tall wall height. So In here, as for the exterior, I decided to go everywhere for only one story of the building. So that is why we have this kind of a tinier, much tinier building, even though it still occupies the whole lot. But this lot is not so huge. It is not a 64 by 64 lot as the one where the high school itself is placed. It's just 20 by 30 lot. So that is quite small. But it is not that small that you cannot fit here anything. So in here we will have quite a lot. Not in the generic version, of course, because the generic auditorium itself will just have a couple of benches in there. It will have a couple of vending machines inside, also a toilet. Every version of this building will have a toilet because, first of all, that is a necessity. Second of all, because I think that it is quite convenient to have toilets in your Sims build because your Sims have a bladder need, so they need to go and pee sometimes. So that is why we have a toilet in here. And also, I decided that I'm gonna set the stage for every single type of this building, just in case, maybe some kind of a debate clubs meets in here. I know that that is a university feature, but who knows? You can imagine that high school has the same club as well. So I was kind of going for, as I said, most of the construction parts of the building are the same in every single type of this whole lot. So in generic auditorium building, you will see that I'm gonna place the same benches that we have in the main school building in the Copperdale High School nearby. I'm just gonna place there a lot of flowers, a lot of trash cans. Also, I decided to stack some tables and chairs like literally in the very corner of this build so that it looks like, these tables and chairs are maybe used for a different occasion. Not now, but as the generic auditorium literally doesn't need anything to do in there, I decided to make it be like, all right, we do not need here anything. I will not place here anything, not a problem. So that is why I decided to go for like the vibe that maybe these tables and chairs are used in different occasions, maybe like in a career day or in a graduation day, like who knows. And I don't think that I'm going to visit this auditorium for any occasion except for career day or graduation or maybe a formal dance. So that is why I decided to make the generic part of this build very easy. And back to those tables and chairs, I will use the same tables and chairs in the graduation type of this build and also in the career type of this build, so that we have some area to sit in here. Maybe you want to study, because when you come for the career day, like all you need to do can be done in literally like maybe not half an hour, but the whole hour in the Sims. But you will have to spend there maybe like 2 or 3 hours. So you will have much more time to spend in here when you are coming here for a career day. That is why I decided to place for the career type of this build a computer in here so that you can at least sit and do something in here. And also, in case if your sim did not have enough time to have lunch, I decided to place here a couple of vending machines. And to be fair with you, I did that off camera after I finished doing this build because I figured that I need to have at least something to do in here, just in case. Just to fix your needs, because you can sleep on the benches outside. A couple of these benches are covered. The benches inside are not sleepable to say so, but you cannot sleep on them because they are like separated armchairs, and your Sims cannot sleep on the armchairs. And also, you can eat in here. Now that I did place here vending machines, you can use the toilet in here. You can wash your hands and fix your hygiene. And of course, if you come here for a generic auditorium type, you will not be able to fix there your fun and social needs, just except for the fact that there maybe are some other sims around here. In the career day and in the graduation, you will be able to fix even your fun, because I did play their computer for career day. And for the graduation, I think the graduation is fun. Maybe. I don't know. For somebody, maybe it is, but not for everybody. And now that I think of that, for graduation, I did not place any fun stuff for my sims as well. So maybe that's a little bit of a flop. Maybe I told you slight lies, and for that I apologize. But as I was telling you about all of the other types of the building I was making in here, we are coming to the most fun part of this build, and that is a prom, because I know for sure that this auditorium I'm gonna use for the prom. I do not like very much the default prom build. That is why I decided to make my own. That is why we have this auditorium, the same about the high school itself. I did not like the high school itself all that much. That is why I decided to build my own. So in here, as for the prom, you see that I did cover all of these huge tall window that give a lot of beautiful natural light in this building with black curtains from luxury party staff pack. That is not so useful of a staff pack, but somehow I found some use for that. And these are these huge, ugly for the most part, but these are these huge black curtains. And I'm using them to like backline the stage so that we have something going on in the back and it's not just the outside that looks boring a little bit and that does not match the whole interior of our prom area. And of course, I've used here the party essentials kit because prom is a party, isn't it? Why don't we use here party essentials kit? Like I decided to make a couple of photo zones, so I did cover most of the walls with these like panels which look like tiles. I covered some of them with these weird string light that we have around here. Also, I should warn you, it's gonna be a lot of balloons. Now you see me just starting with them, but I think that I went with balloons the same way I usually go with landscaping. I just started and I could not stop because like there is always some spot where balloons might look good. So that is why we will have here millions of balloons. And about the main layout of the prom area. As for this building, as you have seen, we have one side where we have a stage and another side where we have this big open area where we have access to the toilet. And I decided to make like this whole area where we have a stage like a dance area, the whole prom celebration area. In there we have kind of a divided part where I decided to play that voting board where you can vote for a prom jester or for prom royalty. And also I decided to place the dance floor in the middle, the one from the Patty Essentials kit. And unfortunately, when I was playtesting this build, I found that it does not function when it's under this carpet, under this exact carpet, because it just disappears. I could not catch it with my mouse. I could not catch it with my cursor. The dance floor is a little bit not functional, but I kind of decided to define the area where we are gonna have a dance floor. And as for the lighting, I was going with the base game light that we have, that base game ceiling light that gives multicolored lighting, and that looked perfect for this kind of lot because it gave a lot of dimension to the whole lot. Because as you've seen, most of the decor I'm using is literally just black and yellow. Like everything is black and yellow except for the tablecloth on those tables where you automatically serve some food. They have red cloth on them, and also I have red carpet, so it matches as well. But the most colors around this prom area are black and yellow. And that looks kind of cute, I think. It looks a little bit celebrational. Maybe it's a little bit of a graduation color for the high school years. But I just thought that it looks very cute for our auditorium, for our prom area, the way I made it here, because it looks a little bit dark and bright at the same time and kind of rich because it's like a golden color, and a little cozy because it has some string lights attached to them. So I think that this whole prom area turned out to be quite cozy. And I made a silly thing with the whole layout of the area because I did place a couple of coffee tables where I decided to place some string lights later. Maybe it's a little bit silly to place string lights on the coffee tables. But also we have that tiny outdoor, maybe a tiny little patio out there. And I decided to place there a couple of perfect patio chairs. And also in there, I decided to place all of the flowers, like literally most of the flowers we had inside in the generic auditorium. And my idea behind that was kind of like, when usually this lot is used, they have all of these flowers inside. But when the prom starts, they push them all outside so they're not thrown away and stuff like that. And I know that I did not go for this like with every single part of this build because I did not keep those chairs and tables I had stuck into the corner, and I do not have any of this furniture kept anywhere except for this prom area. but I just thought that it's like a tiny cute detail I can make in here. That is why we have a lot of flowers outside in this tiny patio area in here. And I decided to make it like a tiny private patio where maybe your Sims who are a little bit shy, they can sit outside, they can maybe relax from all of these people, because for me, prom is like this loud event where there are a lot of people, everybody's having fun. I know that there are some people who do not like these kind of occasions, but I did enjoy my prom when I was in school. In here, I just try to make this whole area very celebrational because I just hope that my Sims will have fun on their proms as well. For now, in my legacy challenge, I have three kids. One of them is a teenager, so she will go to the prom at least once. Also, I have one child and one toddler. I think that they, when the time comes, they will go to the prom as well, because why won't they? So for the prom area, I spent most of the time trying to decorate that because I wanted to make it cute. I wanted to like it myself. And when I was going for the whole career day and also for the high school graduation stuff, I figured that I messed up a little bit because I confused myself with them. And at first, I did furnish the high school graduation area as a career day area, but then I had to fix that, and that is why I was going back and forth to the to my library and back into the game. I was bulldozing the lot and then replacing it again, and I did that several times. I've spent maybe tens of minutes with that. I did cut out the part of that. I've spent quite a bit of time fixing my own tiny mistakes with all of these like high school graduation and career day area. And as for the graduation area, I did not spend that much time doing that actually, because as I have said, I used the generic auditorium as a base for a high school graduation area. And I have used my wedding stories chairs. And that is because I just thought that these are foldable chairs and they look like perfect. They look exactly like the ones I had when I had a graduation. So I thought that it, for me at least, it looked kind of realistic, so that these are foldable chairs. They are going to be stacked somewhere in the storage afterwards. That is why we have all of them spaced randomly. Some of them are spaced like normally. Some of them are just spaced randomly, so that maybe they were spaced in rows, and then students were coming in and they were sitting the way they like to sit. That is why they are spaced a little bit randomly in the end. And I think that it adds to some realism as well, but it's me. I just like making my builds like that, thinking of tiny details and sometimes forgetting about some essential parts. That's me and The Sims 4. So for the graduation part, I also decided to place a lot of confetti on everywhere on the floor, so that, as if your Sims were celebrating and having some fun. And the same I did later for the prom area. And I think that now, as I've been already babbling about this build for almost 20 minutes now, I think that we can go back into the game and let me show you the final product. So here at the exterior of the build, it's kind of generic. It looks a lot like our high school nearby. I decided to go for some details, making them the same, like these tiny bump outs on the side, these tiny like sunk in windows. Also this completely glass corner where we have our stage. And I decided to make slight attachment like this tiny fountain. I'm not gonna show it to you now, but it just like this is shorter and it's like this, like in a bow, a kind of view. This same exterior, every single one of these buildings has the same. So this is how it looks at night. So I did light it up, I think, quite normally, and it matched the school. This looks like a complete complex, I think. And now let us go inside. So this is our generic area. So as you enter, you can go outside. You can sit out here in this tiny patio. I decided to place here some flowers. We have a lot of greenery around. I decided to place multiple posters. I know that they are repeating themselves constantly because we not have that many posters which are related to high school in The Sims 4. That's why I decided to repeat them sometimes. I don't think that's much of a problem, but these are like, teasering, this is your future, or you can join this kind of club and stuff like that. That's at least what I was imagining. Also, we have a lot of sitting area around here, bathroom, the usual. These in that corner of tables and chairs I was talking to you about. And I made some silly stuff like, rising up this chair so it looks as if it's sitting and on top of this one. I did this a couple of times and so on. And also in here we have a stage. where I decided to place one more bench. Maybe drama club sometimes has their auditions or some of their performances out here. Like, who knows? And let us go, I think, to the high school graduation first, because I'm gonna go to the prom last because it's my favorite. So, as for the graduation area, this is what we have for the exterior. It looks absolutely the same. As for the inside, a lot of confetti all the way around. We have a lot of chairs in here because a lot of sims were graduating in here. Also, I decided to place here this light. I did size it down, but it would light up the sim who is gonna stand in here a little bit better. Also, I decided to place this like photo zone where you can take a couple of pictures of your sims when they are graduating. And here we have some more seating area. In this area, I decided to like unfold all of these tables and chairs we had in the corner stuck. And also I decided to place here some vending machines so that maybe somebody who's not gonna go somewhere to celebrate directly, they can go out here, they can grab some snacks, they can throw them away in our recyclable bins. I decided that at least your Sims would be able to eat in here. And now let us go to the career day auditorium. And this is kind of the same. It looks absolutely the same on the exterior, so I'm not going to show it to you this time even, except for the fact that we have this career day sign. So inside we have these tiny sitting areas where I decided to place like some books, some laptops, as if your Sims were studying in here, like a co-working of sorts. So we have a couple of more chairs. I decided to place a couple of desks in here so that your Sims, when there is a career day, they can study, they can play games, whatever they want to do. The same podium we have in here, and a couple of career day stands, which are requirements for the career day auditorium. And also the same vending machines, the same trash cans. And now let us go to the most interesting part, which is the formal dance. This one is better shown at night. I decided the Sims were celebrating so hard that we have some confetti even outside here and there. And as for the inside, so as you enter the whole area, we already have our kind of dimmed weird lighting. We have a lot of these decor wall string lights, wall strip lights. Also, we have some photo zones, as I call like feature walls maybe, but these are actually the same color. It just happens so because we have this light and give some weird lighting, you see. But they are actually the same color. But in here I decided to make for like restaurant area. So in here you Sims who maybe are hungry, they can go grab some food from these tables, maybe they can grab some drinks from these fountains, and they can sit in here and eat. Also in here we have a photo booth, more feature wall where you can take some photos of your Sims. One with the cow plant, one with just, I don't know, a party, whatever. A lot of balloons, as I have told you, like literally piles of balloons. The bathroom is the same, except for the fact that I decided to place here a speaker, just so that during the prom you can listen to some music out here. And I decided to make a light a little bit more dimmed in here. And as we go to this side, and here we have our main prom celebration area. As for this part, I decided to go for, I don't know, but on some proms, especially on the final ones, which are like near the time of your graduation, people like to share maybe some photos, some memories, some stuff. And I just imagine that this is like a memory wall for them. So maybe these are the photos of their classmates where they were maybe writing some wishes for them, like I wish you luck, I hope you're gonna do the best, and stuff like that. I hope you'll get to that university you were talking about all the time, and stuff like that. Or maybe some congratulations. In here, we have a couple of sitting areas where you can just maybe eat something out here, drink something out here, and sit and relax in here. And in here, we have our tiny dance floor, like custom one, disco ball. And I decided to do some stuffs like the effects where we have some fog hidden inside of balloons, and I have it literally all over the place. Like we have some inside of these balloons, like you see I did size it down drastically so it doesn't catch your eye, but it looks quite cute. In leaf mode it will just create a fog around you. And also for the stage we have some more balloons and the stage itself, as I've said, and also these speakers, and that's just because the prom is a little bit more fun when you have some speakers out here. And that is pretty much it. And as for some additions, I decided to place some string lights after I finished the whole build. So that is why we have these string lights in the bottoms of our coffee tables. I just thought that it looks fun. I decided to place some string lights on every curtain we have around here. We have some wall lights around here, so this is illuminated as well, so it looks all cute. Also, we have some string lights. I know in here. I know that it looks silly when it looks like that, but it's supposed to look like that. And somehow the game keeps missing my column. I was placing it here several times already. And in here on the exterior, I decided to place some string lights into this fence as well. And we have this kind of a fiery coffee table in here where your Sims can sit on all of these chairs. I've played tested that. They can do that. They can just maybe enjoy their time outside of the whole loud and busy prom. And this whole area is functional as well. I've tested that. This chair is not functional, of course, because it's mostly covered by the balloons. I don't think that you were expecting that this would be functional. But this is pretty much all of the build. If you like this build, you can get it from my gallery. It uses quite a bit of packs and it's posted on my gallery in 4 parts because you cannot upload all of that as one build. You have to upload every single type of this build separately. That is why we have auditorium normal, auditorium formal dance, and which I call like 1 out of 4 because one is auditorium normal, 2 out of 4, which is formal dance, which is the second one in here, 3 out of 4, which is a high school graduation, which is 3 out of 4 in here. And also 4 out of 4 is a career day auditorium, and I did that just for the sake of the gallery. So I think thank you for watching, and if you like videos like that, you can subscribe to my channel. And this must be a goodbye.